Greetings. Well, someone out there, I'm not sure who said this, but someone once said that dependency breeds adversity. And I really put stock in what they have to say there. My feelings are that when you're expecting someone somewhere else or something somewhere else to be able to take care of your needs, then what happens is when they fail to provide, then you become unhappy. And generally speaking, when you're looking for your needs to be fulfilled from outside, I would say more than half the time you're going to be unhappy because you're going to find your needs won't be fulfilled that way. So dependency on anything, really, whether it's belief systems, governments, whatever it is, dependency definitely breeds adversity. Dependency on your partner, they call codependency, right? That ain't good either. The strength in the individual, the strength in the society is in each and every one of us having a backbone, standing up for ourselves, and mostly being concerned with making sure that we've established a solid system around our lives rather than being completely and totally dependent inside the systems. See, this is where we get this, generalization. Oh, it's big pharma. It's, it's the New World Order. It's, because people, basically, their lives are out of control. They don't have the kind of control it takes to be able to say, oh, yeah, I'm calling the shots here for the most part. I'm affected by everything that happens out there in the rest of the world. I'm not a rock. I am not an island, as Paul Simon said. But I am quite removed from most of it, and I'm also expecting very little of it. So I had some of the YouTube viewers over here the other day, folks considerably younger than myself, probably about a third of my age. Sometimes I don't understand or don't know really what goes on, within the different generations. I guess I could say I'm connected with the millennials because I have two sons, that are in that generation, and so I kind of have some idea what's in their heads most of the time, how they're seeing the world. We talk about stuff, but when it gets out beyond that, I don't understand, all of this. The world's changed so dramatically around me, and I haven't really changed that much. I've only changed enough to kind of adapt to the changes so that I'm not being bowled over by them. But we had these folks over the other day, and the guy, he's born here. He's a native islander, and he was talking about how he's got a YouTube channel that only has 2 videos on it, but one of them's got over 60,000 hits. Well, hey, that's pretty good work. What you got there? And he said, well, it's about hunting and fishing Hawaii. I said, okay. Yeah, and his wife chimed in on this. She's been encouraging him to get a GoPro camera and to talk about his skills with hunting here and with dressing the game and cooking the game. And I said, oh man, that's an absolutely wonderful idea. You have a hot one there. That'll sell. Yeah, you have a good channel if you do that. And she started talking with me about how most people in her generation, they're not at all self-sufficient. They don't understand how to grow food. Most of them don't know how to hunt. They don't know how to survive without the support net of our social structure. They are basically imprisoned to have to live with inside of it. Well, of course, that's a great way to generate adversity, because then you're always going to be blaming somebody else for your situation. And so I guess in my mind, it made it ever more important, some of the message that I put forward over here about, generating independence, putting up your own energy systems, growing your own food, harvesting wild foods and whatnot, learning how to support the basic things that you need in life for an existence, the stuff that we've always needed. Yeah, the tortillas, the water, or the stuff we haven't always needed, like the electrical energy to charge my AV, and run my tablets. So, times change, but when you're looking to see all of that coming from someplace else, you're going to be waiting a long time. And so it appears that the younger people in our society could stand to benefit from some of the experiences that people who've been around here for a while had, as far as how to live in sustainable fashions, how to support yourself, how to generate an economy that is not necessarily directly affected by the economy that it's sitting in, and so on. I've told folks more than once, I have one whole show at least about how to make money with YouTube, and I'm not talking about the advertising revenue. No, the YouTube channels, versus the guy who has 60,000 hits on his fishing and hunting video here. There's all kinds of ways that sort of expertise, could make money. You could hire yourself out as a guide. Okay, that's one possibility. You can write a book or do a pay for video show about this whole subject. You can write dozens of books about and then YouTube is a vehicle that can be used to sell these. I've oftentimes gotten involved in some topic on YouTube and going, that sounds interesting. I get in there, and next thing I know is they're cutting me off and saying, okay, you can go to Amazon and buy the book if you like this idea. The videos are there to sell guys books. There's a lot of possibilities. There's so many different possibilities as far as how you could use a channel on fishing and hunting here in Hawaii as a moneymaker. Yeah, and I'm not talking about the ad revenues, which you will get. If it takes off, you'll get those too. That stands to reason. But so that, here's a case where this is a passion for this guy. He's been doing it his whole life, and it is the kind of thing that you might want to be doing for a living. And so when you go ahead and promote the types of things that you would be doing for free otherwise, oftentimes is very successful. I believe it was Margaret Mead who was asked what is the perfect career choice for a person. And she responded with, it's a thing you'd have been doing for nothing anyway. It's so true. Which is where, we're embedded within our belief systems. We believe this, we believe that, I guess most of us don't actually believe you can, produce your own food. That's kind of the impression I'm getting, is a lot of people don't really believe that's possible. I know I hear people come here and they go, wow, you must grow a lot of your own food. I said, about maybe 60% of it or so. I said, rice doesn't grow worth a darn over here, and I haven't got a boat big enough to catch ahi. So I get the tuna from the fishermen, and I get the rice from California. But as for the papayas, the bananas, the cabbages, yeah, it all comes out of the garden here. But what you believe is what you live inside of. And changing belief systems, changing the way you look at the world, can create improvements. Now, sometimes it's difficult. You undertake anything, and it's going to be laborious. There's always going to be some work involved. But my suggestion is restructuring the general belief systems that most middle-class Americans possess. At least I can speak for that group, because I've been living in it for quite a while. The word hobby always sets me off, for instance. I don't believe that, if you want to succeed, you don't have hobbies. Yeah, this is this basic fact, man. You haven't got a hobby. What you have is something that you believe in enough that you would be doing it for nothing, but don't make it a hobby. Make it a business. If you take all those things that you would have been doing, that you really love to do, or you would rather be doing, and if you tell each and every one of them, you got to make a living, or else. I've thrown out so many things. I used to do portrait painting. I used to do cartooning. I was good with pen and ink. There's so many things over the years that I used to do that I no longer do because they do not fit into the economic situation that I live in. Everything in my life has to generate income somehow or another. I have no hobbies. There are no hobbies, okay? Anything that looked like a hobby was converted into a business. Even my music, which I'm no longer a professional musician. I don't get paid for gigging, but still, this channel, I play my guitar on this channel. I get paid by Google for the ads on a 1099, every year. I got to declare that income to the IRS because I use the guitars on the channel. They're part of a business. It means I get to write some of the stuff off, you see. So everything is somehow included into some kind of an economic function, into an economic unit. Whether it's just, a write-off for the tax man, to avoid having to pay taxes so I can keep that money, or whatever. For the most part, it's limited only by your own creativity. That's the real fact there. The IRS, for instance, will accept almost anything as an explanation as long as it makes sense and follows the law. And the laws are pretty open. There is no tight description of what is a business. Now, business is something that you do and that you start making money and the government wants to stick their nose in it. That's what a business is. But so changing all these things. The middle class, we believe in paid vacation. A person who is entrepreneurial does not get paid vacations, right? You may find that because you're managing your own affairs, that you will have time you can cut aside for yourself, where you can go ahead and do things, like lay on the beach, get a sunburn, or whatever. But again, the paid vacation is another one of these handcuffs, okay? And then it's even crazier, too, because I talk to people frequently who, I won't take vacations. It's like they're proud of this or something. I don't know. When I worked for Domain, when I was actually employed by other people, I'll tell you, that paid vacation, that was part of my income. If I didn't take that, I was cheating myself out of a few paychecks every year. So But again, it's part of the mythology that supports. We have the Christian work ethic. If you work hard, you will succeed, and God will love you. You have this idea of hobbies. You have this paid vacation thing, and all of this. It's part of the support system. Okay. And, the support system has fallen apart considerably over what it once was. And I think that's one reason that people are very unhappy these days. A lot of them. It has fallen apart considerably. There was a time when you might have worked with a certain company and it would have had a pension, and, and they may have taken care of you after the fact, if you had a good contract with them. But those days are over. Pensions don't exist hardly anymore. It's all 401ks, and that's up to you folks. It's like, if you don't control it, no one does. So it's nothing specific here, really. I mean, I have no specific information to help people through this situation, but it does appear that we could use more people here on YouTube discussing the ideas of basic human survival, and how we grow food, how we make our energy, all of these things that create individual independence in each and every one of us. These are principles that this nation was built on, and it's one reason it succeeded. They're good principles. We are falling away from them. There's a whole lot of finger pointing because people don't take care of their own stuff. If you took care of your own stuff, the rest of the morons out there aren't going to be nearly as important to you anymore, because you will know that you're a whole lot better off than the rest of them that are sitting around complaining. So any young people out there interested, want to know something about how to grow a turnip, talk to me. Glad to let you know. I only got so much time left here on the planet, but anything I happen to have learned, I'll be glad to pass it along. Okay, aloha. Y'all hang loose.